just now recovered from that week.
Wait, David, say that part again.
My liver has just now recovered from the visit.
Oh, I'm recording. What visit would that be, David?
To the Lake Pewaukee.
Pewaukee Lake.
Pewaukee Lake, exactly. Yes. So we did some great tidal CE there.
Yeah, we did. So welcome to That Floats, David. It's been a while. We got off our rhythm with this COVID nonsense, but
I know.
After you visited me, and we went out to the lake house for a couple days. We recorded several That Floats videos that will never be aired.
No, for good reason.
For good reason. We do like our jobs and our families.
Yes. My wife vetoed that.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea. Yeah, that was wild. That was a lot of fun.
Yes.
What made us get on a pontoon boat to go across the lake with a designated captain?
Yes.
Dragged a Yeti full of beverages to pick up pizza.
We were hungry, man. It was for the kids.
Kids
wanted pizza. So the kids wanted pizza, so we got pizza.
And it may or may not have been my birthday. And I guess tradition on that lake is give the birthday boy shots of horrible beverages. So he is upset the next day.
Random people at the restaurant did that.
Right. Yeah, randoms just kept. Anyway. Hey, we should plan these better and invite guests on and stuff, you know. We need a third camera thing here.
I agree. What should we do to maybe get some guests to come on here?
Well, we could invite them. Oh, wait, are you saying we should just like wing it? And
let's throw it out there.
Really? Like
let's open the doors up. Let's open the doors up, see who comes in.
All right. I'm game. Hang on, let me launch. So Twitter is probably the best.
I'd say Twitter and Facebook probably, because we know at the end of the month, the second last day of the month, everybody in Tidal is on Twitter or Facebook right now.
Right. All right, hang on. I'm going to share my screen, Dave. Let's do this together.
Okay.
Let me see. All right, I've launched the Twitter. Did you plan this?
I did not.
What is this? The latest Agents National Title Office.
Yes. That's my daily report. So
hey, we're I can't type. We're floating live. What are we saying?
Yeah, we're floating live. And I like that just below that is Barstool Mizzou is talking about the Penguin Piano Bar closing in Columbia, Missouri. You follow some people in Columbia. I love it.
This is the That Floats account.
Oh, okay. So
this
Wick
is
Jacoby.
The That Floats account. This is my personal account.
Okay.
I don't follow your Mizzou crap on my personal account. All right, so we're floating live right now. Join us by clicking on this Zoom link.
Oh gosh, I'm kind of worried about who's going to jump on here.
Wait a minute. If I post this link, I'll get rid of the phone calls.
Yeah.
Can't random weirdos jump on?
Well, we're on, so weirdos are already on. But
all right, so let's just do it and do our content and see if anyone joins.
Yeah.
And I have the controls to block people. All right, I just tweeted it.
Okay. I'm out there, Jerry, and it feels great.
All right,
people are loving. Oh, there it is.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got it too. There it is. Hey, we're floating live right now. Join us.
We're out there. Let's open it up. Yeah.
This is scary. It's a Friday.
Oh, we got somebody. Fish on.
Welcome, Nick, Mr. Black Screen, whose audio is muted. Oh, we have a fan.
Oh, Nick just chatted. I have a question. Nick, you can unmute.
Yeah,
you can unmute him.
Yeah, Nick, come on, buddy. We're winging it. All right.
Craig, you're gonna need to edit that out. I think
it's a video game.
It's a video game. Do you know Nick?
No, I thought he was one of your guys. Oh,
nope,
shit.
I don't know Nick.
Oh, it's my son.
Oh, it's Jack Haskins.
Oh, geez. We're losing control of our own podcast, David. Jack. Jack is my sophomore at Xavier University in Cincinnati. Is that your dorm room, Jack? Apparently, yes, it is. So So welcome.
Oh,
Thanks.
So shouldn't you be in class or studying right now rather than trolling your dad's Twitter account?
I actually was just studying, but I was gonna take a quick nap before my class in like an hour.
Hey, Jack. So right before you came on, this guy named Nick showed up, and I thought it was one of David's buddies, and David didn't know who it was, and he just started live streaming Call of Duty.
I mean, I could do that.
No, please
Yeah.
don't.
so I think we'll just cut that out though. So floaties, Jack is studying actuarial sciences. So those of us that are in the insurance biz, this is really exciting. And Jack also works in the biz. He is the real brains behind Nightberry, correct?
Right.
True.
All the heavy lifting?
Oh yeah.
So, Jack, what's actuarial science? And what am I paying for?
Oh boy. Are you actually asking, or?
Yeah, let's hear about it.
The floaties want to know. You get the platform for 30 seconds.
I mean, it's pretty boring. Risk management, interest rates, probability, stats, numbers, spreadsheets.
You're not
Caution.
really upselling this too much, Jack.
Maybe Jack should take a
I wouldn't.
Maybe Jack should take a communication class here in the next semester.
Yeah.
I haven't
maybe,
yet.
Maybe some marketing.
Maybe some BizCom 101.
Yeah. No, we have to take like 3 because they know all the actuaries are really bad at communicating.
Yeah, as you're proving right now.
Yep.
I'm just kidding.
I don't care. I'll be making money.
Jack,
There you
Who
go.
cares?
we're going to get you an internship at an actuarial firm that does work for Mr. Townsend. That's our goal in the next
Yes,
year.
you can square our triangle.
Yes. That is what we do.
All right. All right. We've lost control. Jack, you're drinking a Pepsi. Good. Hey, Jack, thanks for being our only floaty to log in.
Yeah.
Fruit
And,
punch.
and hey, I like the spike ball in the background. Let's get that out. And
Oh,
play
yeah. Yeah, we haven't played yet.
Nice.
My favorite part of your dorm room is a Skippy peanut butter without a lid and spike ball
Oh, hang on. Funny story about that.
and a red Solo cup.
Hold on. Jack's got a story. Floaties.
So we have like a silverware spoon for it, but like when we take it out, we don't know where to put it. And like they don't want to wash it every time. And so he just puts it in this cup. So this is our peanut butter spoon cup.
Smooth save.
Knowledge. It's not just learning about books, it's life skills as well.
That's right.
He's like, guys, I have to have a backstory in case my dad ever zooms into the dorm and sees all these red Solo cups. So let's put a little dab of peanut butter in the bottom of it so he doesn't know we're playing beer pong.
Exactly.
It's smart, Jack. Smart.
Yes, strategic.
Jack, hang up. Go back to your studies.
Take your
All right.
nap.
I'll be
David and I are going to
sleeping
get
for-
into a. David and I are going to get into a title story. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, Jack.
I'll be napping. See ya.
And there's Amy Tankersley coming in here.
This could get interesting.
This is gonna be interesting.
Oh boy.
Oh no. I think we're getting scammed, Craig.
¡Cállese, señora! ¡Váyase a la mierda!
Yes.
How do I block these? All right.
Craig, don't let anybody else in.
All right. They're all in the waiting room now.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, Jesus.
Amy, I'm sorry. That was the first time
Oh.
you've seen that. And I hated it was here on that float.
What are you guys doing?
I get David.
So-
I gotta take the tweet down too.
Yeah, take the tweet down. So here's what happens, Amy. When you put a tweet up with a Zoom, apparently there's things called bots on the internet that find that and then jump in. Who knew? So we were just going to try an experiment here on the last Friday of
Do you know
August.
who Nancy Baker is? Nancy Baker. I'm gonna remove Nancy Baker too.
Sorry, everybody that's not Amy is in the waiting room. You're out.
Yeah, everybody's
Guilt by
gone.
association. Because
I
we know
removed
Amy, she's
everyone.
verified.
I removed everybody.
Okay, and kill that link. So, hey Amy, how are you doing? Welcome to our last episode of That Floats.
How the hell am I ever going to edit that one?
I don't.
Well, you're going
could-
out with a bang.
I could watch the screen. I was violently right-clicking, remove, right-clicking, remove, right-clicking, remove.
You'll just have to cut that out. I mean, you could just
Wow.
you could edit
Yeah.
that.
So,
Wow, Amy. So happy Friday.
Hey,
heard any good jokes lately?
nothing as funny as any of this.
Oh boy. Whew.
Yeah. Yeah.
guess
Yeah.
I'll-
I think that might have been Wayne Stanley. I told him to jump on.
I was just blocking and removing as fast as my mouse would.
Although
How
the
many
Trump video
people-
was kind of funny.
There were
How many
12.
people did you get? Oh, really?
I think there were 12 that came in a half a second.
It was crazy.
There was a Mexican basketball game going on one of my screens.
Yes, mine too. That was great. I actually kind of want to see how that ended.
Wow.
Oh my lord.
Can you imagine being that bored in life that that's what you do all day is, you know?
What did Craig and I do?
So David, when I called you this morning and said I got a great idea for some guests,
And I'm like, why not? And then this happened.
I'm literally sweating through my shirt right now.
I'm just like, oh my god.
I don't know.
All right.
So anyways, David, you were saying about this claim.
Okay, Amy, I was getting ready to talk about a very interesting claim we had because this is a real estate and title talk show.
Once in a while, yeah.
Every now and then, yes. Between crazy memes and Mexican basketball games. So we had a claim a few years back where we'll just call him Bob Smith, owned a piece of property, and he was refinancing it with a new lender. And they do the title search, and Bob Smith owns it with, Mary J. Smith is the wife. And so they sign everything. Everything's great until about 3 weeks after the deed of trust is recorded. There is a suit filed to attach a judgment against Mr. Smith on that property. Well, we're like, well, hold on a second. He's married. This is Missouri's tenancy by the entirety state, and he owns it that way. And this shouldn't attach. So we talked to the agent. They're like, well, no, this is what we've got. And so we did another title search and checked things out. Well, it turns out Mr. Smith had been married when he bought the property. His first wife died. Okay. He remarried a woman with the same first name and middle name as his deceased wife.
Okay.
So that her name on the deed of trust, and he never did a quick claim, he never did anything to get her on title because the name was exactly the same, and just he got the property, so he owned it free, he owned it by himself. And one of his creditors was very quick to point out, wait a minute, hold on. He owns this by himself, so judgment should attach. So the judgment creditor figured it out, and the judgment attached, and we had a little issue on our hands because now all of a sudden you do have a judgment that is senior to the loan that was just put on the property. So the creditor kind of waited until they had leverage.
Wow. Savvy
to
creditor.
file this. And turns out that the bank did not want to upset both parties because our individual did a lot with the bank, and everything got worked out. But it was just one of those things where he just happened to, and because if there had been somebody else's name on that deed of trust, like if he married a Sue instead of a Mary, wait, hold on a second, this doesn't match the vesting. What happened here? Well, my first wife died and I remarried, and here you go. Because there wasn't probate, everything they had was in trust. So you didn't, when you did a judgment search against the parties, nothing showed.
Yeah.
So there you go. And luckily we were able to work everything out, but it just with title insurance, sometimes you never know. That's one of those claims that it wasn't the fault of the agent because they didn't know she had passed away. The owner didn't really say anything. And because the bank did their own closing. the title just sent the title out, and the bank did the closing, sent it back,
Yeah,
and it was
wow.
like $1.3 million policy, so it wasn't small.
Does this guy have
Wow.
a type? I mean, some guys like blondes. This
Well,
guy
I was just gonna say, what
Yeah.
are the odds of him marrying another Mary J. Smith? Like, did he purposely go out and do that, or
It's
was
like
it-
maybe like Mary J. Blige, and he
It's
wanted,
funny
you know,
that Amy asks, what are the odds? Because prior to you coming on, we had an actuarial student at Xavier who we could ask that question and say,
Yeah,
Jack, what are the odds? And he could probably figure that out.
probably.
Oh, I got stung by 2 wasps today in my left elbow at the same time one was stinging me in the right ankle. And I haven't gotten stung by a bee or anything since I think I was like 10 years old in the 80s. So there's my story. Not as good
Well,
as the
Way
first
too
initial.
many coincidences in this podcast.
Craig, were you up by the rock?
Yes, I was. I was hiking in the woods back there.
Very nice.
Got stung by the bees or wasp or whatever it was. It stings like hell, right? It's not supposed to feel good, but it still burns. Anyways, what's going on in the title world with you, Amy? Anything new?
Oh, I am chasing down this whole refi fee situation, trying to get some lender reaction to what's going on.
And they're pushing that back a little bit.
They pushed it back to December 1st, yeah.
I'll give you their reaction. Holy crap! This is bad. Yeah, that's probably their reaction.
Is it true
Pretty
that
much.
some lenders are just going to eat it because they've got enough money in the situation anyways? They're not going to pass it on to the borrower.
Yeah, I think they have time now to figure out that the issue was if they had started September 1st, they had loans that already locked.
Ah.
So, they were going to get stuck with it. Now they have a little bit more time to figure out what they're going to do.
Yeah, they could always ask the title agent to pay for it because that's what happens most of the time with,
In those states.
that's what happens most of the time. Oh, wait a minute. This fee, we can't do it. Title agent, oh, you take care of it. No,
Right.
no.
Hey, and also I heard, this is turning into some legit news now. I also heard today that FHFA followed with HUD, and all Fannie and Freddie mortgages are now prohibited from evictions and foreclosures through the end of the year now. So it's not just HUD. We kind of had a feeling that would happen, but man, there are some law firms / title agents that are in trouble now if they're, if that's their bread and butter. They've had nothing to do for 4 or 5 months now, and now it's going to extend to the end of the year. So a little scary.
Exactly. Yeah.
Should you just go creating January 1? Do you just have your title agency create a default division and you just start getting ready for the onslaught of foreclosures?
I guess that's a good business plan.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, because they're going to happen. There's an interesting. I've seen a lot of interesting studies out there too about where the defaults happen. In that people will default on their mortgage before they'll default on their auto payments.
Wow.
wow.
Because they need their car to get to work.
Yeah.
And the process takes so long for foreclosures that they're hoping that they'll be able to make it right or figure
Right.
something out.
So if you had to rank that, you would say auto ahead of mortgage.
Yep.
Where does Netflix and their iPhone bill stack up? Definitely ahead of the mortgage, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
DoorDash somewhere in that that mix. Yeah.
And that float subscription is going to be
Yes.
good as well. So
I know every time I turn around, somebody's mentioning something that they saw or have done on TikTok. And I'm like, look, y'all, I neither tick nor talk. I don't care.
Let me tell you why TikTok is entertaining. Oh, Wayne Stanley is in.
oh,
Wayne Stanley.
is it the real Wayne Stanley?
I don't know. Is-
So Wayne, let me just throw something out to you here before Craig goes into this. If you threw a Zoom meeting invite out on Twitter,
Yes.
what do you think will happen?
There's a from the I think it's an 80 come out it. That's probably what would happen.
Yeah, it was ugly. It's going to take me several hours to edit this video.
Oh no.
Oh,
Yes.
A couple HR violations. No
Yeah.
big deal.
Oh, yes.
There was some human anatomy shown, and it was bad. But the Mexican basketball I could have watched. That was okay.
Amy Four Eyes. Yeah, it makes the AR-15 shooting and the first guy that came in looks harmless now, doesn't it, Dave?
Yes, some guy was screaming Call of Duty, and then there was a basketball game streamed from Mexico, and
Another ball game.
Another
Wow.
ball game. Well played, Craig.
That's great. That's great.
We were just talking before you got on about the interest rate, the extra quarter or half a point that's being charged on refinances. And then we went into FHFA this morning announcing no foreclosures or evictions on Fannie and Freddie mortgages through the end of the year. We're talking about the impact on title and whatnot. But yeah, interesting stuff.
Speaking of that, because we have two marketing gurus here on the call. So let's say we're going to a shifting market where you're adding another business division in foreclosure REO and servicing. How do you guys, what would you recommend agents do to pivot for that as far as their focus and their marketing?
On their marketing? Wow. I don't know. Wayne's better at advising people on marketing strategy than I am. I'm more of a content person, but.
Or what kind of content should they put out with their marketing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to educate people on everything that's going on and empower people as much as possible with information that's easily digestible and understandable. Because this is, let's face it, this year is very extra.
Yes.
There's a lot going on. There's a lot to navigate.
Mm-hmm.
I would agree, and I would say that you can use that content to, it's really more on the sales side probably right now than the actual marketing. It's that old school, creating those relationships, having those conversations now to prepare for that work when it does come in, whether it's in a couple of weeks or a couple of months. You know, it'll hit in various markets at different times. So you have to have those conversations so that you can plan ahead for your staffing and everything else. And I think it's a little more old school on the relationship side. And if you're just starting out, if you've never really talked to any of your customers about being able to handle that kind of work before, that's the marketing you need to do. You need to let them know that you've got folks on your team that are knowledgeable and have the expertise needed for that kind of work, and that it's not, one more thing or a money grab are going to cause them headaches. It's that you're fully prepared to handle that.
Yeah. So what you're saying is it's more of a shoe leather type of marketing approach, because, you know, if you're an agent in, let's say, Indiana, you would want to identify what firms in your area handle foreclosures and set up an appointment with them to go talk about, say, hey, in our county, here's how we would serve you and here's our turn times, and talk to them. Do you have a service level agreement with your law firms? What is that? What's your turn time? What are your expectations? Because foreclosures are handled completely different than traditional purchases. And many of the lenders judge their law firms on how fast they're able to get the title through. Understanding, though, what the lenders expect, because if you don't hit their windows, you're out.
Yeah, it's a tricky market for back in 06 or 07 when the market started to tank. We formed a default division and just spent about 2 months building it up. And building it wasn't as hard as learning all the rules on foreclosure and bankruptcy and all the timelines. So we took a few months and learned everything. And then we, Sherry, one of our lawyers here, and we did a
One of your lawyers.
One of our
Listen to you.
I was going to say one of our general counsels, but that wouldn't have made any sense. It would be
She's like the sun, and all the other lawyers revolve around her. Come on, she's pretty awesome.
So we went around and went to every anyone in town, every little town across Wisconsin, that lawyers, realtors, bankers, and said, we're going to teach you everything you know about the foreclosure process and the timeline, because people were like, well, I'm in foreclosure, I can't sell my house. Not correct in some markets. So it was really good, and we built ourselves up as the people in Wisconsin that knew the most about foreclosure, and we ended up getting the lion's share of the Fannie and Freddie work, and it was something that kept us busy for years and years. We still get a lot of foreclosure work, obviously not in the last 6 months, but knowing that, I would say it's way different than knowing how to do a title search, exam, and a closing. I mean, that's the easiest part of the whole deal, is searching, examining, issuing a commitment, and handling an REO closing. It's all the calls, senior judgments, junior judgments, what happens on bankruptcy, what happens if the person's dead, all of the different weird stuff that comes along. It's not as easy as you think, but getting geared up for it, like Wayne said, and going around and tell everyone you have not only the people for it, but the knowledge is the key. So that'll be interesting.
Craig, do you think we could have a perfect storm of like all modes and types of title insurance products converging all at once, where you have purchases because there are people that are buying out here. You have refinances because everything's low. Unfortunately, you have foreclosures because people are losing their work. You got HELOCs because there is equity. And then you've got short sales because people are trying to avoid foreclosure and they could still be underwater on their house. And then lenders are trying to limit their exposure. So you get like everything, like the perfect storm of title.
That's like the Sharknado of title.
Exactly. Exactly.
You just have to also throw in commercial too, because commercial's picked way back up from when it was for the last few months. So you got 1031 exchanges, commercial refis, commercial purchases, new construction. Every single market segment in our company, I'm sure yours and everyone else's that we're all affiliated with, is experiencing that as well, which kind of brings me into the point that I was going to ask Wayne and Amy about. Content and marketing is hiring. I mean, if you ask me to rank the issues I have with running Knight Berry right now, it would be number one, hiring, or I should say finding/hiring. There is no 2 through 10. Everything else is running great. It's hiring people, finding people.
That's what we've been telling a lot of our folks that are trying to advertise these jobs. It's people you're not having to convince somebody to leave something that they may like or love right now, and that you're that much better. And if you're not prepared to communicate that, if you don't know what that is, if you don't know your value statement or your benefits and feel like you can't communicate that, then that's probably where you need to start, because that's what you're going to, I mean, like you said, everybody's employed that knows this stuff now.
Yeah.
Or you make a conscious decision that you're going to take the time to train somebody from the ground up, and that takes time. But people want to know that, especially for these positions that are more technical or require experience, that you're going to take the time to train them. And we've seen that kind of turn the tables for those roles. If you really outline your training process, then that can help give people the confidence to apply, because they know that they're not going to be right back out the door in a few weeks.
Yeah, marketing, how well your company is. I mean, on the marketing level, I mean, when we try to find candidates, we know they're going to go to our webpage, our Facebook, all of our social, and just try to figure out what's Knight Berry all about. So, Wayne, thank you for the effort you put in on all that stuff with us too. So we spend a lot of money and time on the polishing the upfront look of how we do things, so that's the first thing. If they're like, who's Knight Berry, and they Google you and some of the new states and markets we're in, if they see our site and our social media, they're going to say, okay, check. They know what they're doing, and now we get to the next step. So marketing, just marketing, just to make it look like you know what you're doing, is like half the battle.
Yeah.
Well, I was just going to say, with title companies with the demand in the market going on and how busy everyone is, do you even have time to devote to your marketing? And I think that
no, you don't, but you have to hire that out. You have to, if you can't do it, and probably none of us can. There's no one in the industry right now that's a title or closing person that has time to do that. Or I'm guessing there aren't many people, so you've got to look for anywhere to help do that thing, whether it's companies like you guys, and find an intern or find something. Somebody's got to be doing it, because you can't let that stuff go.
And our networking opportunities have been taken away with events not happening.
We have
and recruiting opportunities. Yeah.
People are having to make some very difficult decisions right now. Yeah.
But I will say, you have positions that don't require that. They're more appealing than ever. So the guys opt to be.
Yeah, that's, as far as we're concerned, we're hiring for remote positions, so it works perfectly for us. And it's not really an impediment, but we're lucky because it just happens to be the timing of what we're looking for as well too. Could you imagine how devastating this would have been on our industry 10 years ago? Because think of it, nobody had remote hosted title production systems.
Right.
We were nowhere near any technology for remote online notary.
Or even online meetings, like
anything.
Yeah.
I mean, if this had hit 10 years ago, our industry would have been in major problems.
Yeah.
We would not have been able to pivot the way we have now. I mean,
even as soon as in the past year, people still had some hangups as far as remote working goes. And I think a lot of that has gone away, but it's
Well, not just the personal remote hangups. It was, you had your Soft Pro in a PC and you're a small agent. It was sitting in your office, not on a server, but on a PC.
right.
And so you didn't have connectivity. I mean, a lot of people didn't have a good enough internet. You had latency issues with VPNs that were just absolutely horrible. There was a title,
Cyber secure while we're doing everything that we're doing.
and I remember this must have been like 10, 12 years ago. There was I'd say this is the predecessor to Qualia, that was called Webster Title. And they were a web-based title production system. It was a great concept, but nobody had the bandwidth to use it because data files are so huge.
Right.
And it was ahead of its time, and we weren't ready for it. It was a completely hosted web-based title production system. Worked great,
Yeah.
Right.
but you couldn't get the throughput to get data in and out just because the tech on the infrastructure had not caught up to this. But no, guys, we thank you for jumping on here and being actual humans and not some spam bot from the former Soviet Union.
One of our worst decisions ever, and it'll never be.
And we've made some bad decisions.
We have
This
made.
might have been the worst.
2020 is a learning experience for us all.
Yes.
The unedited version of this podcast is available for $190,000.
Director's cut. No.
But
No.
You guys really need to have a blooper reel.
Yeah.
Oh, no, we don't.
well, the entire last week when Dave was in Milwaukee, all the videos we shot live from the DNC, those are all blooper reels. We'll never.
None were approved for public consumption.
Those are bad.
None.
Hey, David, NS3's coming up.
Yeah. Yeah. Amy, Wayne, you guys going to be in attendance?
Yeah, Natick is a sponsor. Yeah. And that's my former stomping grounds. I used to work for October Research. So
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna go and see I watched their walkthrough today. If you haven't seen it, you can check it out on their marketing emails they've been sending to see how it's all gonna work. It looks cool.
David
Yeah.
and I have decided we're not doing any prep work for that. We're just going to go. I mean, how hard can Zoom be?
Greg, who are the last people to speak at the NS3?
That's us. My
Us.
Google alerts
Oh,
are going
going
crazy
out
yesterday.
bang.
Yes, we have to recap and then bring some great content. We've got 4 hours. So,
Very true.
Well, I would much rather have been hanging out with you guys in Naples, Florida, but
yes.
That was a good one too.
Yeah, we should be there instead of home for the NS3 this year, but next year, right? Back. And by the way, floaties, if you have not signed up for the NS3, it's not too late. In fact, there's some the swag packs that they could send out still. Erica was talking about that. So check out October Research and NS3 on Twitter.
NS3.com.
It's the NS3thesummit.com. And tell them we sent you. Craig's. Oh, look at that. Craig, and you've done well. You haven't opened it yet. So,
It said not to, David. It says right on there.
and if one thing is true, you are a rule follower.
Yes, it says do not open until the networking nightcap. Do not open to the reception. Do not open until opening night reception. So I'm going to follow the rules.
There you go. But but we look forward to seeing all the floaties there. It's going to be a fun time, and they're great supporters of us, and we're great supporters of them. So thank you, NS3 and October Research, for having Craig and I do this there, and hopefully not burn the place down.
I'm going to try. I'm heading to Texas on Monday. I'm going to edit this on the plane because I need a good 2 or 3 hours of concentration. This is going to be Spielberg-like editing to make
Yes.
it even publishable.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's no coincidence that the last live event we did was the Louisiana Land Title Association convention, and they haven't had one since.
No.
Yeah, no. I'm pretty sure, aren't you guys responsible for Marks getting infected?
We cannot confirm nor deny.
Maybe.
That's a HIPAA violation.
I think there might be some music here somewhere. I'll have to edit that later, Spielberg.
Yeah, drop in the music. So awesome. Thanks, guys.
Wait.
Hold on.
Wait.
Let the rhythm